that's their idea of that's the whole thing about what privilege is that people don't like to have their pleasure interrupted.
And if you really want your pleasure interrupted, tune into Don Lemon. It's another glorious Monday in the city that never sleeps. Who are we kidding? There's bums passed out all over the place. But the rest of us have to stay up all night and guard our stuff from looters. It's true. According to the NYPD data, hundreds of suspects nabbed for looting and rioting after the George Floyd protests have all had their charges erased. Yep, the charges were wiped out like cat after having one too many vodkas in first class.
Yes, you're a queen.
You're in Queens. The dismissal of charges must be great news to business owners who can look forward to more repeat customers from their growing base of faithful looters. It's sort of like a steal one, get 100 free sale. It's a lesson in incentives. Lack of punishment doesn't just remove a disincentive to crime. It becomes an incentive to do more of it, as if the flat screen you stole wasn't enough. According to an NBC New York investigation, the Bronx, a borough ravaged by fires and mass looting, saw more than 60% of the charges dropped. And in Manhattan, where looters freely assaulted Soho and Midtown, over 200 of those arrested had their cases dropped. But according to the media, pointing out that problem makes you the problem. Take New York City Mayor candidate Andrew Yang, who in the last mayoral debate tried to explain what every citizen in this shaken town understands.
The fact is, mentally ill, homeless men are changing the character of our neighborhoods. A woman my wife Ellen is friends with in her mom group in Hell's Kitchen was punched in the face by a mentally ill man. This is happening in New York City, and we're not talking enough about it. Families are leaving as a result. Yes, mentally ill people have rights, but you know who else have rights? We do. The people and families of the city. We have the right to walk the street and not fear for our safety because a mentally ill person is going to lash out at us.
Amen. He makes sense. He speaks soberly and rationally. The exact qualifications Democrats hate in a mayor. Consider New York Times columnist Michelle Goldberg, who upon hearing Yang wrote this, quote, "Every other candidate spoke of homelessness as a disaster for the homeless. Yang discussed it as a quality of life problem for everyone else." And because of that, she couldn't vote for Yang. So she's stupid or deliberately misleading. It's hard to tell. She's got a track record for both. But her assumption is that if you express concern about the legitimate safety concerns of the city you live in, you lack compassion for the homeless. It's as if normal folks can't hold two ideas in their heads, that we can't aid the homeless and the citizens who deal with them on the street. Maybe it's just the writer who can't hold two ideas in her head, and her stupidity prevents others from speaking out, knowing she'll label them fascists for wanting to protect their loved ones. I didn't think weaponizing compassion was possible, but that's how Michael Bolton got me to buy all those albums. But maybe Goldberg's idiocy is designed to make her readers feel smarter. By the time I was done reading her column, I felt like I could have solved a Rubik's Cube with my toes. So the next time you wonder why the street seems like a war zone, blame your lack of compassion for expecting better. This, as Joe Biden's White House asked American citizens to report on friends and family who have potentially radicalized beliefs. Note, they didn't say report on someone who did something, but report on someone who believes something. And you know what that means. A different political view will now be viewed as radical, because that's how Democrats operate now. And what a better way to unify the country than having families snitching on each other. Real crime is okay. Thought crime, severely punished. So while actual criminality is now a protected class, the White House will direct funds and agents to an internal threat that is yet to present itself as a cohesive thing. Like, who are these massive, well-organized domestic terrorists? You mean the looters and the gangs? A lot of them sure don't look like white supremacists. So why this new war on terror? Well, it's a distraction and an expansion of power, and this expansion involves targeting people whose views run counter to the White House, intimidating opposition into silence and driving them underground. That can't be good. I guess allowing left-wing mobs to attack you isn't the only way to shut you up. Meanwhile, violent crime is the silliest of concerns, say the media. It's just pornography for Midwesterners, says Poppin' Fresh.
It's like almost pornographic if you're living in the middle of the country and you're reading about San Francisco all the time and like the worst. And by the way, there's problems in cities. There's problems everywhere. But if you read about them constantly, you're going to blow them out of proportion.
Of course. Why is it the legacy media only cares about blowing the crime out of proportion rather than the crime itself? In journalism, all sides deserve to be heard. That's why he covers the explosion of crime from the perspective, what's the big deal? Right, Brian, if you're in Kansas, who cares if a brat gets shot in Times Square? This is the mentality that led to the phrase peaceful protest. Sure, Minneapolis was on fire, but somewhere a cornfield was just fine. Bottom line, you can't cover the news if it makes far-left policies look bad. Stelter is arguing for less coverage of a widespread explosion in crime. Now, isn't that weird coming from a journalist? To be any less concerned about crime, you'd have to be holding a sign that says defund the police. So hearing about people being beaten, robbed, and murdered is almost like pornography. I guess where CNN anchors live, they're more cut off than Don Lemon on New Year's Eve. It's where crime is porn and watched from behind the locked front gate protecting your highly secure home. I got news for Stelter. If you consider an Asian elderly woman being beaten by a repeat offender in broad daylight to be pornographic, Twinkies aren't your only problem. Maybe I'd see a sex therapist, and not the one Tubin is using either. Here he is. Let's welcome tonight's guest. She's so bright, Kat had to wear sunscreen tonight. Washington Examiner commentary writer Kaylee McGee-White. He knows more about defense than the 85 Bears. Former Defense Department Chief of Staff Kash Patel. He'll only protest a bakery if their eclairs suck. Outspoken editor-in-chief Chadwick Moore. And she's like a goldfish. She's shiny and won't remember any of this. Fox News contributor Kat Tipp. All right, Chadwick, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, sir.
You, like me, live in New York and are good looking. Is Andrew Yang right about the homeless situation here?
Yeah, he is right. But, you know, I mean, the Democrats have acknowledged they have to address the homelessness and the vagrancy in the city basically falling apart. Here's what I hate about Andrew Yang, and actually what I find so depressing, is he's sort of this continuation, he's this annoying millennial continuation of what Bloomberg started in this idea that New York is a luxury brand, you know, that you know, it's not a place where people have roots, that people live, that people like have families, that people have, and a unique culture of its own. It's just a place for the world to come.
Yes.
And Andrew Yang's not a New Yorker. Right. You know, he's just plopped down here, and it's like there was a journalist who sort of said the new political paradigm is more a class of people called the somewheres and the anywheres. Right. And the somewheres were more the sort of Brexit Trump people who had this sort of roots, and these anywheres were just flitting around globalists. Yes. And Andrew Yang is so much represents that transformation of New York.
This is a really interesting point because it explains a really diabolical consequence of this is that the people that come when it gets bad can leave. Right. But the elderly and the poor that live in the city and have been there, whether it is in the Bronx or in Harlem, they don't have that luxury. So all of us, like, you know, well-off, beautiful people, I mentioned myself as one of them, and when the going gets rough, I can leave to go to Florida. I can go to Nashville, but all these little the Asian families in Chinatown that are out there getting their butts kicked by crazy people, they're stuck there. Yeah. That's a really good point. I wish I came up with it tomorrow. I will repeat it on the 5 and act like it was my idea. Kaylee, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
This is your first time here?
Yes.
Good luck. Where do you see this going? If the Democrats offer no solutions, this can only get worse because they're in charge.
Well, it's not only going to get worse, but you're going to continue to see people leave the city in droves. Like you said, the people who can afford to will, because no one wants to own a business in a city where shoplifting is so common that a guy in San Francisco can walk into a Walgreens with his bike and start shoveling goods into his trash bag and then just ride out on his bike in front of a security guard and several other customers. No one wants to live in a city where an elderly Asian woman is going to get beat in the face and people around her aren't going to do anything about it. No one wants to live in a city that is unlivable. And so good people who are paying the taxes in New York City, they're going to end up leaving to states like Florida and to other places where a lot of people during COVID have left.
Yeah, the thing is, though, if you're a Democrat, you can go, well, I don't really own a Walgreens, and I'm not an elderly Asian lady, so I'm safe, right? I live in the Upper West Side. I got a gated building, not a gated building, a secured building with a lot of security, so I'm safe. Cash, to the young lady's point, Kaylee's point, about businesses, where are the insurance companies, like, in this? It seems to me that they're the dog that's not barking in all of this. Why is that? Because do they tell these businesses, hey, just like let the goods go, we'll cover it? I don't know what's going on here.
I mean, I prepare for a lot of topics for your show, but insurance wasn't one of them. So I'm just gonna wing this.
By the way, I want to congratulate you for winning the PGA tournament. I like the jacket that you got.
You can sign it later.
Yes. Okay, answer. What are your thoughts on the state of crime in America? That is so generic that even you can answer.
I can
Cash.
do it. Because
Yes.
I used to be a public defender and a federal prosecutor.
Ooh.
So
both sides of the coin.
You like that?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's really fundamental, right? If you arrest people for being criminals, you can't let them out on bond.
Right.
Right? And then you can't have no crime when everyone you arrest is committing more crime after they already committed crime. And then when they commit their third crime, you give them a light sentence and say, here is money from an insurance company, go to the bar.
Right.
Do it again.
Yes, there you go.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah, but you know what? Because Democrats know, like it used to be, Kat, that the Democrats, and I leave out libertarians in this just for the sake of simplicity, they were the yin and yang. Democrats and Republicans. The Republicans were like to be sexist, the father, the law and order. And then the Democrats were compassion. They were the mom. And they came together and they formed a loving bond that ruled the United States. But it's not that way anymore because the Democrats don't want to be seen as aligning with the Republicans over law and order. So now you have chaos.
Right. And of course,
you don't even have to answer that. We're going to go to break.
Of course you are you're the first person to ever leave libertarians out. So absolutely. And if you watch that segment, you watch Stelter, you don't have to argue with him other than just to walk around New York.
Right.
You can see with your eyes or with photos, videos, that he's completely wrong. I mean, New York is so expensive and I'm paying all these taxes. And given the amount of taxes that I'm paying, I would like to, have the luxury of walking around at night and feeling safe. The pornographic aspect, the amount of homeless people I've seen having sex on the street. The number's not 0, it's not 2, it's not even 3. Last week saw a vagrant being, shall we say, serviced in the bushes outside my apartment.
Yes.
And nobody wants to do anything about it.
You're talking about Kyle.
Yeah.
We had a thing.
Yeah.
I apologize for that.
Yeah, well, put Kyle up in a hotel room because I can't take it anymore.
But you know what the thing is, though? What you're talking about is you have a limit of finance that other people, people like Stelter and Michelle, they are willing to fork out the money because they're protected. And in the long term, this is going to end up with private security for everybody that can afford it.
And it's just nothing, you're never ever going to find the best solution when you're not accepting reality. And
Yeah.
the reality, you can plainly see it by just looking at New York.
Yeah. All right. And this is going to get worse for everybody. So I know that people get we talk about New York too much, but it was once the best city in the world, and now it's absolute.
Yep.
So there you go.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.